everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pokemon Crystal, where we are playing Ecruteak City. This is turn 35. Let's jump into things. Okay, so a lot of what's going on right now is just cursory, right? The main game plan that we have is this fast approaching timetable of attempting to Throne Rush, basically. So a lot of what we're going to focus on is going to be that. I'm going to talk about some world state things and see how things go, but we are going to cursory go through everything as we do that as well. Okay, so we've hit enchantment 5, we're on our way up to enchantment 6, found nothing with Auspex, did some reanimation, built a historical school, found nothing with arcane probing, did some reanimation, got another ghastly champion, twice born to fool. We have been beaten by a battle girl, which is randomly annoying, but whatever, it happens. We get to witness Vermilion City attacking Pewter City, so this is AI attacking Pewter City. And we've defeated a Black Pelt Provoker in the Swamp of Solitude. Pretty easy peasy there. We've got some unexpected events. We've lost 5 defense in Ecruteak City due to diarrhea spreading amongst our ghosts. Sure. We've got a handful of fire gems dug up in a spot where the snow would not settle. We have gained some sloth, which is unfortunate in green waters. Actually, I think we're capped out at sloth, so I don't think. And then this is actually an interesting event and a painful one for us. The world has been eclipsed in complete darkness, which means we lose money, right? Because darkness decreases the amount of taxes, the yield of the land. So this actually hurts us pretty significantly. We patrolled out a monster boar, a black servant from Azalea City. We've completed a fort in Ba'an Kish, and the entrance to the fortification of Cyanwood City has been breached. Okay, so that's a big deal. And we actually got a bunch of promotions throughout our... What are we doing this turn? Okay, well, Cyanwood City has been breached. We are storming the castle with a number of forces close to... What is this? Over 300 units, along with a ghastly champion to do Divine Blessing and just to cast other spells. We are hitting Kevin, right, with a kimono, just a little unit. We're bringing down the forces from the Swamp of Solitude. We tried patrolling last turn, and I don't know if I just fucked it up or if it's just the fact that there are so many ghosts here that are increasing the unrest, so that they basically patrolled it down and did it right back. I guess maybe. I don't know. But screw it. We've built what we've built. We've done what we've done. We're moving on. We've got a timetable to keep, so we're bringing these forces with us. So this is another 240 units. And some of these units are pretty high level. We've actually got some Gengars in here, interestingly. And these guys are big boys. Maximum hit points 20, decent attack stats, everything else is kind of crap. They do have invulnerability 20, fear 5, and all the other stuff that we normally get with. So, very cool. Alright, so they're on their way down. We're going to be casting reanimation pretty consistently in Swamp of Solitude. Swamp of Solitude actually has a temple, so it's going to be free spawning. Combining that with reanimation is going to make it to where Swamp of Solitude is relatively defended compared to something like Ba'an Kish, which does not have a temple, does not have a laboratory, which is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. We do want to put up a temple or a lab there, but right now our money is abysmal, so we might not be able to anytime soon. We do have Blue Chan 2 heading over there in order to hopefully do that, to put down a temple, to free spawn units, to put down a lab, and be able to cast things like reanimation to help support the place, defend it, etc. But we just might not have the time. The timetable just might not work. So we are also moving more units into Cyanwood City, basically about another 240 from Greenwoods. And we're actually moving some forces from Anvast and Second Forest over towards Cyanwood City. And that is because I'm not sure that even with the complement of units from Swamp of Solitude, what's already in Cyanwood City, and what's coming in from Greenwoods, I'm not sure that it's going to be enough to pop Sleepy Mountains. Though, as we look at Sleepy Mountains, this is where we're going to talk about a little bit of the board state real quick. Olivine City is at war with Mahogany City. Mahogany City is at war with Viridian City. So Mahogany is kind of getting pincered, which is good because that means Olivine's focus is somewhat elsewhere. We can see that there were quite a bit of units here previously in the Sleepy Mountains. I would assume that is because previously Viridian City and Olivine shared a tense border, right? But now it seems as though things have calmed between them, and the units have gone elsewhere, which is interesting. So, that is something to keep in mind. That might give us a benefit here in trying to sneak into Sleepy Mountains. But we're still going to need to guarantee that we can pop the fort in a single turn. And we've got about 100 siege strength here already. If we bring in... This is not 150 siege strength, just as a stressor. Because this is a Death 2 location, so this is way less in a Growth 3. But the hope is that with all of these units, with the units from Swamp of Solitude and with the units from Greenwood, we will be close to 200, and that should work. However, if we don't, like, if that's not going to work, I want units on the move already. So these units in Anvast and Second Forest have to travel through Waywoods anyways, and Waywoods is their target. So even if they make it all the way over to Dunster before we're like, no, we don't actually need them, right? They're still in range to turn around and hit Waywoods. That's just a situation there. So it's turn 35. Let's talk about some of the other stuff real quick. Azalea City is devouring Vermilion City, and I'm assuming probably just going to turn on Pewter City as well. Azalea is incredibly dangerous right now, but again, we have that paper shield, right, of a non-aggression pact, and the hope that they will follow that, and we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. If they don't, like, I'm not going to be upset about it. If they come at me super hard, whatever. You know? In the meantime, we are continuing to gather more forces. We actually have this force heading out from Wesh to Histria, kind of making a beeline towards Ba'an Kish. I think I've kind of hit critical mass, and I will not need more forces to take Arcadis. I will likely need more forces to take Waywoods, but I think over the course of the next few turns, we'll be able to consolidate enough forces to be fine. So, in the meantime, I want to make sure that we are getting protection over into Ba'an Kish. And we might actually end up bringing a force from Gol Amrod as well, but this force is solidifying. It's not quite strong enough to bring out yet. I'm okay with 73. Friggin' 39, not so much. So, we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, we are basically... Fortunately, we were already recruiting in a bunch of different areas. I think we recruit a schoolgirl. We're not recruiting in Ecruteak City. I want a little bit of money. I'm hopeful to put up at least a lab. Though I would prefer to put up a temple as well in Ba'an Kish over the course of the next 2 to 3 turns. Even if it's just free spawn for about 3 turns before we actually pull the trigger, having 30 units of free spawn on Ba'an Kish and maybe, 2 turns of reanimation is going to be more protection for Ba'an Kish than we will need elsewhere. What we're doing right now for most of the other locations is not necessary as far as, we don't need more mages or anything like that necessarily. Trust me, they would be useful. But there's only so much that we can do. Money is tight. Gems are going to be more important in this situation. Yada, yada, yada. So, we are forging more coral blades, right? That is almost specifically just to give our schoolgirls an edge in survival. We are doing a bunch of reanimation. We're continuing to do Auspex because that's kind of like whatever. We are cloud trapezing Seaboy and Gas Champ over to Cyanwood City because we want as much oomph as we can to go for Sleepy Mountains. Okay. And that does mean having some magical backup, right? We're twice spawning Seaboy 2. We're moving J-Boy 10 into Arcadis to kill himself. And that's mostly it. Coral Blades, Arcane Probing, trying to find uses for our gems that we have good access to. And we have halted in our production of Ghastly Champions, at least for now. We might do another 1 or 2 here before the final scenario goes, just for shits and giggles, basically. But I think we've reached the point to where our gems are better spent not on the gas champs themselves, but on chaff, basically. Morty is leading a great portion of Ghastlies in some training. If we just think about this, they get 4 from the school, 1 for living through a turn, so they're going to get 5 every turn. Most of these are going to be Haunters before the finale, because I think we're kind of scheduling the finale for around 40 or so, because we're going to pop Cyanwood City this next turn, right? Then we will need 1-2 more turns to consolidate all the forces that we're bringing to bear. So that'll be 36, 37, 38. Then 39, 40, 41, probably a move and attack. And go from there, right? So somewhere in that vein, okay? So we will see how that goes. Which means we're gonna have enough time again, probably to get a temple up, probably to get a lab up, to do quite a bit more reanimation here in Swamp of Solitude, here in Ecruteak City, more schoolgirls, a lot more coral blades. We're probably gonna dump all of our water gems into coral blades. Because I think at the end of the day, I've been looking at what our options are if we take a look at, Veteran 1, right? We could summon Ice Drakes. Ice Drakes will kill our own people, very easily kill our own people. And we can summon Vile Water. Now, Vile Water's not a bad thing to do, necessarily. That could be cool. But I think at the end of the day, I think 8 more hit points, over doubling the hit points of a schoolgirl, is going to increase the longevity of our communions and just make them less easy to snipe, which I think is going to be the thing that does, if we even get into any big conflicts, I think that's going to be the thing that makes it easier for us in the long run. So we're starting to store up a bank of those. What else do we got? that's pretty much it, honestly. Like, that's the turn. Most of these turns over the course of the next 5 turns are going to be this prep. We've got a army of 160. We are specifically aiming for 240. I think the plan is going to end up being, as we finish off this 240, we are going to try to turn around and just in the last like 3 or 4 turns, just mass spam out reanimation. So our goal is to hit enchantment 6 for rigor mortis, and then probably alteration 3 for oh no, is it? It might be alt 4. So alt 3 for like iron skin, alt 4 for like temper flesh, and you're like, well, we've got a schoolgirl up here that is random to earth, so we can actually get that into our community, right? Which would be really nice, like getting iron skin and temper flesh and okay, earth power, right? That'll be really nice to get into our communities. So very cool. Anything else? I think that's it. Honestly, I think we're very close. Last few turns, right? We're trying to focus our research to make sure that we hit the rigor mortis goal. But I think we're good. We just need 4 more turns of what we're basically doing already, right? And once we achieve that, right, it's gonna be turning every mage basically into a scenario to utilize our gems. As many gems as we possibly can use in the last like few turns. So that's gonna be it for the turn. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.